The election bump. 5 of the country's top metro areas with declines are right here in Florida. Sales, they're a slowing, and what you need to know as we head into 2025.
Let's get to it. Go ahead.
Hi, I'm Jackie Sosa.
And I'm George Philbeck. We've been telling you that there's going to be a lot of uncertainty until after the election. And that means that buyers were going to be kind of waiting on the sidelines before they're purchasing a home until they knew what happened and who went into office. It doesn't matter what side of the political spectrum you're on. Some people are saying now that because Donald Trump won, there's going to be something like a Trump bump in real estate. Listen to this.
I think, yes, we've seen a pickup, but a lot of that has more to do with the fact that there's less uncertainty now that the election is over. Typically, after an election, we usually see an increase because people know who the incoming president's going to be. And so that's a good thing. But we still have what I call the troubling trifecta in housing, which are higher rates, mortgage rates, higher prices, and a lack of supply.
Okay, so she talked about the troubling trifecta: rates, prices, and supply. Let's begin with the all-important one, the interest rates, because that's what everyone cares about these days.
Right to the big board. Let's take a look. What you're looking at is our big board. This is the average interest rates over the last 2.5 years, as will all of our boards. And if you go to the very far right, you'll notice that the closing interest rates as of November 1st were that very high 7.09. Now we are down. We're at right now, December 1st, 6.88%. So it's great that they're coming down, but they really spiked up a whole bunch. Now, there's still speculation that we're going to see the prime rates, the Fed rates will be lowered a little bit. They've got a meeting coming up on the 13th, and they may well lower. We're going to talk about our long-term forecast in just a little bit. They're down, but they're actually up from 2 months ago.
Right. They need to go down a lot more.
How is that affecting the buyers out there right now?
They're still on pause.
Even though we've said that Trump bump, we are seeing it. We got a lot more coming. Let's jump to it. Next thing we want to do, we're talk about sales price. We're going to jump over. We're going to hit our sales price graph. And we're going to show you some really interesting things that may be relevant to your decision-making process as well. Here we go.
All right, we're taking a look at the sales price. And as you can see, they started going down in July, bottomed out pretty much in October. Then November, December, those prices creeping back up again.
So what you're looking at is the price cut. This is again from our Reventure app. And if you'll notice down in Florida, 25.5% of all the homes listed have had their prices cut, meaning they've reduced their prices. When we say that, that means that, let's say you start off listing your home at $500,000. 25% of the people that listed their property have now lowered the price of their home, expecting or realizing that that price isn't working. Now, we've still seen our prices go up, which is awesome to some degree because it gets into our affordability. However, there's still a little bit of unreasonableness in this. One more thing I want to show you. Let's take a look back at something from Reventure. What you're now looking at is just the Florida market, and these are the regional areas, the metro areas, and this is value growth or the growth in values. You'll notice that we currently have Daytona Beach at minus 0.8. We get to Sarasota, it's at minus 0.43. It means they've gone down in price. Marco Island, Naples area, minus 2%. So there's some areas, like in Central Florida, we've actually gone up in our pricing. That's what we were showing you on the big board. But there's some other areas where they're actually starting to drop, and they're doing that based on inventory. So we might as well cover what the inventory looks like, don't you think?
Yes, let's do it.
All right.
This is the year-over-year inventory increase in Central Florida area. And as you can see in Orlando, Kissimmee, Sanford, we're up 57%, down to Miami, Fort Lauderdale, also 57%.
We're one of the highest in Central Florida. We really are.
We are.
With our inventory increase, but we haven't seen our prices drop as we have. Let's go over to let's go to Tampa real quick. So in Tampa, it's 40% increase. If we go down to Sarasota, it's 29. Yet those are some of the biggest issues as far as, well, we'll cover that in just a second.
Tease. He's such a tease.
So these are a little bit different numbers than we were just showing, but they show not just metro areas, they dig in a little bit. And that where they're talking about the 5 areas out of the country where the majority of prices dropped: Florida, You've got Fort Lauderdale, Miami, West Palm Beach, Jacksonville, and Tampa.
A new report from Redfin says the recent hurricanes have had a big impact on the state's housing market. 5 of the country's metro areas with the biggest declines in pending home sales are right here in Florida. The report looked at a 4-week period which ended on November 10th. It found here in Tampa, pending home sales dropped by more than 7% year over year. Fort Lauderdale, Miami, West Palm Beach, and Jacksonville each saw even bigger declines. During that same time, Redfin found pending sales nationwide were actually up nearly 5%. The report also said surging HOA and insurance costs were factors in Florida's sinking sales market.
Aren't we lucky to have the top 5 in the entire country?
Isn't that crazy that they seem to be focusing here? And one of the reasons for that is we have such incredible inventory. Let's show you this on the big board real quick, the inventory. So if we're looking nationwide, you'll see Florida at 144,730 homes. We are absolutely the highest in the entire country. Now, we looked at this and it actually hasn't gone up that much because it's like 400, 144, 300 or something last month. So it's not really rising, which is keeping with this kind of market. I'm interested to see what will happen in February and March.
What do you think is going to happen?
I think the inventory is going to continue to go up because a lot of people still have to sell, but they're going same thing. They had that election blues, but let's get to that at the very end.
Let's finish with affordability before we give you what you can expect heading into 2025.
The very first thing we want to note is that line coming. That is the 50% line,
which we always tell you about.
And it's important that you know. So how that works is this entire graph is built on the idea we use our average sale price plus our average interest rate, a 30-year note with good credit at 740, we come up with our average monthly expense. The assumption is that you're making $100,000 a year combined family income. This shows that line that we just had, you'll see in just a couple seconds, is the 50% mark. That means that your principal and your interest payments are 50% of your gross income. Anything above that, you're not going to get a mortgage. Now, Florida, and particularly Central Florida, we're very tourist-based in our market right here. Hey, the sourdough bread's coming. Sorry, we're growing sourdough bread. Just threw that in there. Right. So we use that because a lot of people they're in the service industry, so they're not making that much. We've got some people that are doing very well. If you're making more, this isn't going to be an issue for you. If you're making a little less, it's going to be a challenge. Let's go back to the big board. You'll notice that we dipped down in October to 49.52. Now, that was because we had a slight reduction in our prices, as we just showed you. We also had a reduction in our interest rates, kind of 2 of the 3, the trifecta we were speaking of. And we're currently at 52.79%. That's still too high.
It is. And
now let's talk and let them know what we think is going to come over the next coming months.
You've got a big doozy. What you think is heading our way?
I think we're going to go into a recession. I think we need to do some corrections on all of this. It's for a lot of you know, I was hoping that we'd have President Trump in here because I'm a business person first and foremost, and I want a good economy. Regardless of who would have taken over, I think a recession is coming. You want to do the pie in the face?
Yeah, I was saying that because last time you were wrong in your prediction.
I said the interest rates would come down, and they didn't.
And
they
you got
kept them
pie in
up.
the face. So if we're not into a recession, you get a pie in the face again.
Do you think we will not be in one?
I don't think we're going to be in a recession now.
Great. So if we do go into a recession, she gets a pie in the face. That's fair.
No.
And we'll call it by March. By March, we have to be in or not in one, and we'll do that.
By March what?
15th.
Okay, March 15th.
Actually, no, March 1st, so they can see this.
Okay,
right, great time. So hit the like, hit the subscribe. That way you get there. We put this out March 1st, and the March 1st one will be her getting a pie in the face and we're in recession. Actually, I hope I am wrong. I would love for us not to be in one for the recovery.
Yes, of course.
Here's the thing. If you're buying a home, we need these interest rates to come down. I expect they would. We all think they should be coming down a little bit. We're getting better at fixing the economy for sure. If you're interested in selling a home and you're on the market right now, be dead serious. And remember, everybody that's looking is dead serious as well. Lower interest rates, potentially flat prices, mean to me that we'll have, coming relatively soon, a pretty healthy market. It's not very healthy right now.
No, it's not. It's going to get there. We're going to get there. I'm very optimistic about that.
Any last minute words of advice to our friends and
Just
family?
enjoy your day. We're out of here.
Yeah, it's
a little chilly in Orlando. George was eyeing his. Let me show you. Might as well. He keeps this here like a trophy. His yeast
It's sourdough. That's why I
His
started on
start-
starter.
Yeah, it's risen just a little bit, but I'm optimistic that it's just going to grow.
I'm hoping so because I want sourdough bread. For all of you that are like us, we ate too much. I'm not eating anything until the first Christmas party. Happy Thanksgiving. God bless you. I hope you and your family are doing great. We'll see you real soon. Have a
Bye.
great day.